Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Corey with Peak Sports Performance, and today I wanted to make a video talking about remodeling and redoing some old pro style Troy dumbbells. I picked these up on Facebook Marketplace, and they were in not the best condition, but they were still salvageable. And it's really hard right now to find a pair of dumbbells, let alone a set of 5 through 100 pounds. So I wanted to grab those and then see if I can do some restoration on these. And so far I'm in the middle of the process, and as I've been watching YouTube videos, they've been very helpful, but I wanted to kind of give back myself after watching those YouTube videos, detailing this process as I go through it so that the next person that has the same issues that I might have, that they can go through this process a little bit faster. We've definitely had some trial and error with this, and there's a few things that I found to be more helpful than what I tried previous to that. So I want to detail some of those methods to help you if some of these dumbbells are as tricky as the ones that I dealt with were. Definitely a pain in the butt, but so far definitely worth it. All right, so a couple things that will definitely be helpful and I highly recommend you having. One would be a vice grip. I don't know if everybody has one like this. You can also use vice clamps that are more like a wrench that you can clamp down, because the dumbbells, because they're circular, they will roll. It's a pain in the butt. Definitely something that is aggravating, and if you've done 5 through 100 pound set, over time you just get too aggravated, and so this definitely will help out and be able to hold these in place if you're by yourself. The other thing is having a good socket wrench with a hex attachment so that you can go into the side of the dumbbell and then really start to crank from there, because you got to use leverage. Some of these did not want to come open. The rust over time on the inside, if you're getting old dumbbells, it's going to be a problem. So definitely having this, you can use more leverage with the long handle. Another one would be a wire brush attachment for a drill. I used a hand brush, which is somewhere around here, but this sped things up tremendously. And not only that, it saves your back a ton of pain there. So instead of hunched over, using the hand brush, I just used a drill, put this in, and then was able to really sit there and eat away all that rust that was on there, all the issues from that build up over time. Another item would be making sure that you have some gloves. My hands have been through a lot the last few days, so gloves definitely protected and helped. They've been beat up and worn away on the inside, so I can definitely tell that without these I would have had a big problem with my hands. And then what I used to paint these were Rust-Oleum, and we used the hammered kind. This is actually the first coat that I used, which was more of a lighter silver, but we're actually going to go with a darker bronze. The dark bronze just looks better to me. The shiny silver looks kind of like a street performer mannequin, and I saw a previous YouTube video that actually recommended this, but I couldn't find the dark bronze. So what I recommend is go on Amazon if you can. Walmart may have, or a local paint store may have it, but go on Amazon.com and then find it, order that. I'll put a link for the Amazon order that I use to get dark bronze. You can use that if you want, or you can just go to a local paint store, it doesn't matter. But yeah, hammered Rust-Oleum. let's get down to actually taking these apart and putting them back together. I wanted to make sure I go through this. All right, so let's go through actually taking apart the dumbbells from scratch and then laying them off to the side. I'll kind of talk about what I did to clean these up and to repaint them, and then we'll put them back together. All right, so that's what really matters the most is how do you take these apart and how do you put them back. All right, so the tools that we're going to need are socket wrenches with 3/8 attachments, and we have a vice grip here as well. I did need to use that for some more stubborn ones, and I'll kind of go over how I use that. There's a couple other ways that you can do it as well. I had some lubricating gel or liquid that would help go into these cracks here. I tried to put them on the hexes, on the hex keys themselves. Sometimes that worked, sometimes it did not. So some of these just are so stubborn from wear and tear and dust in there that you just need to use brute force. Sometimes that's what's required. So this is how this works. You see on the side there we have a little hex key. Take the socket, make sure that it's to tighten, not to loosen. And then you can just go this way. I'll go ahead and speed this up so you don't have to take your time. Watch this. All right, so we've got the weights taken off. What I noticed when I took these off, there was a lot of gunk on the inside of this, so I had to clean that up. A lot of gunk on the screws, so what I used was that lubricating wrench liquid and a wire brush or a wire brush attachment on a drill. Clean these up really good, that way we won't have any future problems. Clean this up so that the weights will stack on there pretty good. And then on the inside of this little chrome piece, there was definitely some gunk in there as well. With the weights themselves, I would lay them out and spray paint on both sides. I hit them with 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum hammered spray that I have linked in the description below. If you're in this situation and I got this side off, but I can't get this side off, what I try to do, and this worked a little bit, is taking your vice grip we've gone a couple rounds, me and this vice grip here. Go ahead and pop that in there. I tried not to damage the side, but honestly, sometimes you're so frustrated, it is what it is. Go ahead and tighten this up. All right, so say that's in there pretty tight without squeezing this so much that we break it. This is holding it down. I would go to this side, and then now I go ahead and loosen on that side. A major issue that I got into was sometimes when I would try to loosen this side, the dumbbell handle itself would start to spin. So I would turn it and the dumbbell handle will turn. If that happens to you, I definitely suggest using a vice grip here, clamp it down really, really hard so that it can't move. You can also do a double socket, so you have the screw on this side still with this weight on there, and you can flip sides so that you're using a little bit of pressure going in the other direction. That seemed to help with a lot of the more stubborn dumbbells. So just trying to give you a couple of troubleshooting tips. Again, this is about saving y'all time so that you don't have to do the same thing that I did. But anyway, this typically worked for me. If you have other methods that maybe I should have tried that will help the next person, go ahead and put them in the comments below. So, unclamp this guy from the vice grip. Set these to tighten, not to loosen. Okay, that's on there pretty snug. Tilt that upside down. Make sure those are on there good. One thing that you're going to notice with these is that they actually don't fit completely on there. So it's gonna kind of fake you out. You're gonna think, well, that's not right because it's not sliding in there all the way. That's actually normal. You put the chrome cover over top. When you're doing your math, because we ran into this problem, when you're doing your math, just know that the handle and the chrome plates together are gonna add up to about 5 pounds. So what I'm trying to do with this 40 pounder is I wanna make 35 pounds. So if you're doing your math, always leave 5 pounds so that you can go ahead and total up to the number that you're looking for. All right, that's in there, hand tighten. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up. All right, there you have dumbbell you took apart, spray painted them, waited for them to dry, did the correct math, hopefully, stacked them on top, put them together as such. If you clean these by hand, if you're working on them and you're struggling, just remember that the more clean that you get these now, the less of a problem it's gonna be later on, okay? By repurposing these, you're creating more value for the dumbbell later on down the road. Maybe they're worth more money and you can possibly resell them, okay? So hopefully this was really helpful for you guys. If you have any other questions, let me know. Guys, to finish up the video, I just wanted to show these really quick. They turned out awesome. So happy with it. Just remember that you need a hex bolt to unlock these. Take your time, be patient. Definitely use a wire brush attachment on a drill to clean off the rust. Anything I'm leaving out?